We begin with Jimmy Hines. Bob Hayes, the Cowboys' speed-burning wide receiver, was the world's fastest human until Jimmy Hines came along. In one perfect afternoon in Mexico City in 1968, Hines became the first Olympic runner to break the 10-second barrier, then decided to seek his fortune catching footballs for the Miami Dolphins. He had not played football in college. It was a daunting task. Here's Woody Broun.
Football coaches sit up all night plotting ways to steal a step on pass defenders. Men like Jim Hines don't have to steal a step, they take it, with the blinding speed which brought him the 100-meter gold medal at Mexico City. Already haunting the dreams of cornerbacks is the '64 medalist Bob Hayes of Dallas. And now Hines is trying to bend his straight-line flash to the skilled evasions of football.
The desert island atmosphere of an empty beach is a far journey from a crowded Olympic stadium. But lonelier still is the new boy in town feeling of trying an unfamiliar game with an unfamiliar team.
The nomadic nature of the professional athlete's life is one of the shadows that doesn't show on the bright heroic screens of Sunday afternoon. And pleasant as the Florida beach may be, it's a long way from home for a California family. While wife and child absorb the rhythms of a new life, young father has to learn the rhythms of a new sport.
Well, the most difficult thing that I think I have to learn is this idea of the pass patterns. And another thing is to get my hands back like they were when I had them in high school. In high school, I was considered having a pretty good pair of hands, and by being out 4 years, well, then I have to get my hands back together and start learning the patterns again.
Well, now you're used to running straight with blinding speed. Is it also, are your instincts against cutting back and forth?
Yes, well, my instinct is pretty good. The only trouble I've been having is I've been sore. I've been running straight for 4 years now, and the last 2 weeks I've been working out on pass patterns and cut and all that type of stuff, and I've been sore every night, so I guess that's natural.
In the Miami Dolphin locker room, Hines wears a brand new jersey and a rookie's all-purpose look of cautious friendliness. A football team's emotional state oscillates erratically between the happy family and the hairy commando platoon. And this is one of the patterns the new player must learn. Even in the symbolic togetherness of the team photo, one can wonder where one will be when next year's team photo is taken, and can approach with zest the transitory immortality of one's individual portrait. Jim Hines works hard at harnessing his own lightning and making it zig and zag according to the map in the playbook. Patterns look precise in the book, and even when you run them alone. In the semi-scrimmage conditions of practice, they sometimes lack the wrinkle at the end of the zag, which is the mark of the successful pass catcher. Then, too, in the offensive playbook, players are blocked but never tackled. Fresh from the inviolable lanes of track, Jim Hines is learning that the defenders have diagrams, too. Howard Twilley, incumbent in the position Hines wants to play, makes it without speed, but not without problems.
If you have the speed, you don't need quite as many fakes or moves, and it allows you to throw the deep past the bomb, and that's what professional fans like to see, and it's exciting, and that's all part of the football game.
Is part of the pressure on a fellow like Jim Hines a kind of resentment of a man who comes from another sport kind of in the middle of the year with a lot of publicity?
Well, I don't think there's any resentment. I think people just naturally feel they feel challenged by a man, the world's fastest human. Here's a defensive back, and they see the world's fastest human out there, and they don't want to be beat by him. They want to think, well, I can handle this guy. And I think there's just a little extra incentive to make the guy know that this is football and it's not track, and it's a rough, tough game.
Proper conditioning for a sport depends on what the sport demands of the body. And Hines, superbly conditioned for the unopposed action of track, must wake up another set of muscles for defense against hard knocks. Dolphin coach George Wilson wants his lightning bolts ready before he looses them.
He's got to learn how to be able to catch a football the right way. He's got to learn how to fall. He has got to be able to get hit by a defensive back, which he has yet to have happen to him right now.
Sometimes the pigskin seems as elusive as if it still contained a pig, and the hands curl in frustration as they wish for the short pass of the baton. But what Hines has, unteachable, unreachable speed, is too valuable to be discourageable.
Jim Hines is the world's fastest human, but if football were all speed, no one would wear helmets or shoulder pads. To his speed, he must now add the guile, which will make his wings effective and keep them unbroken. This is Heywood Hale Broun in Miami.
Jimmy Hines lasted parts of 2 seasons in the NFL. He caught 2 passes for 23 yards. When we come back,